Okay, this is the video on top of the engine. The only thing I have to do now is take out the 4 bolts from the bottom of the transaxle. All the top bolts have been taken out here, so it's just the 4 on the bottom. I have the motor on a block right now, and after that I'll take off these motor mounts, that one and that one in the on the side. Plans: before I take out those 4 bolts, I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up the top bolts on both the side mount here and the front mount, just in case I have to make any type of quick movements on this transaxle to get it out of there. Once I get the 4 bolts taken out, if there is any if it holds in place, I'll go ahead and start loosening up the bolts on the bottom of those mounts, which are underneath there. Okay, I've removed the 4 bolts in the back of the rear housing. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 over there. Those are all 14 millimeters. The top bolts are taken out. What I need to do now is take out these motor mounts, the front and the side. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some bolts on the top of this motor. I'm going to put them back, not tight, but the same places I took them out. There's 3 on this side, 3 there, or at least 3 holes, and some over here as well. I'm gonna just put the bolts just in case it wants to come down as soon as I take these motor mounts out. Have something to hold on to, and I can get some help to take that down. Okay, place that bolt right there. Pretty heavy duty bolt right here on the top, just in case this transaxle needs to come off as soon as I take off these motor mounts. So here goes. Here it goes. Plans. I'm on the passenger side now. Instead of taking off this bolt here that holds this shaft into the transmission, I'm going to go ahead and take this bracket apart that attaches that bracket. You got 1 bolt here, and then on top you have this one here, and on the other side, which I can't get to it, there's another one. So you got 3 bolts holding this bracket, and this bracket is held by this mount, this suspension mount right here. So I will take that suspension mount off as well, at least the top part here, so I can swing that away where this will be loose. And this whole shaft here, from side to side, from end to end, will move along with the transaxle when I pull it out. That strut mount right there, starting to take that out. Looks like there was some type of clip right here that goes and locks into place. Either way it's bent. I had to do that to take it off. There's no way I can get it from this other side. Not that I know of. Let me go check. Well, yes. I guess I could have. I could have and I should have. See those 2? I should have. Well, It's not now, but either way, I need to take those out. Go ahead and separate that from the bracket. There's that other bolt we were mentioning earlier on. Okay, I'm able to take off the top bolt here, and this will be it. Top bolt. There it is. Top bolt. Strut mount. Okay, I just took out the strut mount. I had to use a pry bar because it was a little tight fitting on the top here. So when it goes back on, it's gonna be a son of a gun, but it will get on there. Yep. Thank you, God. Being with me. This is a crazy job. That's it. Next, I'm going to start taking those bolts off right there so I can move the whole suspension. Everything needs to go along with that axle, transaxle. Okay, first bolt has come out. Looks like that. Has little dots. Little dots all over the bolt head. And that bolt has come out from right there. That's the first bolt. I need to go on the other side. I need to go on the other side and start taking those bolts out. Alright, now I got my 3 bolts out of the bracket that holds the CV shafts, which is that right there, straight ahead. And I took it out on this side as well. I got 1 bolt here, and again, and that 1 bolt up there. So it's just a bracket that holds. Now I got free play with this this shaft that connects to the. So if I pull that transmission, everything's gonna go with it. Even this axle on the passenger side, it's got free play now. Time for the motor mounts, and here goes nothing. Okay, we're at a standstill because that's the bracket, that mount on the driver's side. It's ready to be taken off. That's the mount to the front of the transmission. Thing is that, and it's ready to move. It's moving now. The only problem with this is that I need a jack. I need a jack to support that transmission to be able to take off that bracket, and after that bracket move that mount so I can eventually just slide it right on in this this hole that's right here. So eventually at that point I can get some progress on this and get it moving. But until then, we'll wait for the jack. Okay, what I ended up doing is I got a jack from the Jetta and put it on a block and lifted the transmission just to take off the weight from the motor mount. You see there's a small gap in there now. So what I can do now is take out those that bracket right there, so then I can take out that mount and eventually just slide it right in that open space, and then I will be able to get to the clutch. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I just took out the bracket, took out those 4 bolts, and now that you see these this bracket is out, you can See that the side motor mount here, or transaxle mount, is by itself, and now I can remove that, which I believe I have one more bolt under there. Yeah, one more bolt. I'll remove that and slide that transmission towards this hole. I just took that off here. Transmission mount. I just took out that right there. I just barely put it on just to show you where it came out of. And pulling that out. Now I put that to the side. Now I have a whole bunch of room right here on the side of the wall. So once I take out this bolt here, which is the only thing that should be holding it to the block, the engine block now, I could just pick that up off of that because there's nothing holding it onto that mount anymore, and then just slide it in there. What I'll do is make a measurement to see if I need to take these brackets off. It almost seems that this may hit the top of the wall, so I may need some more room. I've decided before I move this transmission into that hole, there's these two brackets, this one here and this one here, which we have one bolt here that are holding them down. I'm gonna remove those, and I'm gonna just set it to the side. Set these to the side just in case that top of those brackets hit and ends up giving me problems while I'm trying to move this. Last thing I want to happen when I'm moving that type of weight. Okay, just removed the two brackets. We got one. This is where one went, and the other is going to be right here, right there. Okay, I separated the transmission from the engine block. It looks about maybe 4 inches away. Need to move it a little bit more. This brake line needs to be moved out of the way, so that'll be the next step before I pull it all the way through that hole. So that brake line needs to be moved out of the way. Or transmission line, that's what that is. Okay, I've got the transmission line out of the way, tied it to one of the harnesses, and now I have this area free where I can put this against the wall to give me some more room back here to replace that clutch. Pain in the butt. The front motor mount has not been removed, and it is ready to put it back on there once the clutch has been replaced. Keep you updated. Okay, I just removed the clutch from the flywheel, and you see that it's not scored at all, but over here, yeah, the clutch is pretty scored pretty bad here, and then it just pretty much nothing all the way down to the rivets. Yeah, it was definitely time to replace that. Okay, I'm gonna look and see if there's a clutch bearing, pilot bearing inside. There we go. That'll be it. Okay, here's the next step in the housing. The fork needs to be removed, and this bearing needs to be replaced. Oh, you can tell it needs to be replaced too. So yeah, there's clips right here, right there, that clip behind it. And push that on there and holds it on there. And that's it. Okay, I removed the fork out of the housing and lubricated those 2 points there, and then where it sticks up right there on the other side of the grease, high temperature grease. I'm about to install the push-out bearing now. This one right here, the new one with the clip. Okay, I just installed the throwout bearing, and it is connected to the fork. The clamps going around the back end. There's a little indentation where that ring can sit in, and it won't separate. So that's it now. Now time to clean off the flywheel and install the new clutch. Okay, just replace the clutch plate and the outer pressure plate, and this alignment tool, I thought it was going to be heavy duty steel. It's just a piece of plastic, and I thought it was going to do the work for me to align it, but pretty much you have to eyeball the whole thing and just make sure it's in the center. And the way I know that it's in the center is I see that the clutch right here, and it's centered right on the pad that it's going to rub against, or at least have pressure against. So it's there's not much exposure. You can tell it's not out of center, and just tightening up all the bolts, crisscross pattern, getting that ready. About to get this transmission back on here.